Hello! Today I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey. We are talking about how absurd and how bizarre our world is. Surprise, surprise! Well, I know you're like, no shit, it really is. But believe me, you're more distracted than you think. So we're gonna dive into it. It's gonna get crazier. Remember that banana duct taped to a wall that got sold for $120,000? Yes, it's that world we live in. Do you remember when NFTs were a thing and then they were selling pixelated monkeys for millions of dollars? Yep, that also happened on this planet. But why? Why is it so ridiculous? If aliens came here, they would be a little embarrassed because maybe they thought we were the higher civilization. But regular capitalism was already making life miserable for a lot of us. But now we've upgraded. We have luxury capitalism, only for $3.99 a month. And there's also the billions and billions and billions going into the blockbusters. The ones that also have the sequels, you know. They have to make at least like 6, 7 of those sequels because how could we live without them? Oh my God, forbid. Meanwhile, we're getting all these. We're drowning in stuff. Every second, millions of digital and physical products are pumped out, clogging up landfills in our brains. Yeah, but hey, that's not our problem, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Until the entire planet turns into high-end garbage dump. I'm sure they're gonna find a solution for that as well. Maybe Elon Musk is gonna take all the garbage to the Mars. And we're gonna pay a higher tax for keeping our trash on Mars. How nice that some people out there can spend 6 figures on handbags, gold-plated steaks, and designer doghouses, while others struggle to afford basic necessities. Well, yeah, I'm gonna dig a bit deeper on this. I'm not stopping here. We got billionaires building rocket ships for joyrides in space, while entire communities lack clean water. I don't know. Most of the time we don't put them next to each other, but it's happening. It's happening right now on this planet. The amount of unnecessary spending in the world is enough to solve multiple global crises. But hey, priorities. Mass entertainment. High budget, low effort, maximum consumption. Met Gala outfits, AI influencer, big techs, fighting to buy your data. Remember when movies were made because someone actually had a story to tell? Now it's all about franchises, brand deals, and squeezing nostalgia for every last dollar. Artistic integrity? That's not in the contract, is it? The days are gone. The days where thought-provoking was a thing. Boundary-pushing cinema was a thing. Now we get another superhero movie because studios know explosions equal to money. Put a famous actor in, pay a bunch of CGI artists, do some cool explosions and things and just make it seem cool, okay? Just make it like a spectacle so everyone is gonna buy the ticket. Like, ever wonder why Netflix is canceling anything remotely interesting after one season, but keeps pumping out generic crime dramas and reality shows? Because they don't care about the quality of the storytelling, of course. They just want you on that endless treadmill, binging, scrolling, consuming, until you start questioning your existence. And of course, this is not a secret, mind-blowing. You've heard this so many times. But in general, we don't think about the influence that they have on the planet. Like, these things, when you think about it, they actually only exist in digital forms. Well, like only physical if they're on a hard drive. Their only purpose is solely entertainment. Maybe there are some educational ones, of course. They are more important than the others. That's arguable. But most of the mass entertainment right now is just entertainment, as the name is. So we never think about how this was made. We all see those pretty scenes, but we don't think on what was left after that. Well, here's a little bit of a plot twist. If you didn't know, I'm a filmmaker myself. So why am I shitting on the film industry? Well, I'm just shitting on a part that's like very, very unnecessary. And it's a big part of our lives. And to be honest, I don't think I need millions to tell my story. You know how many songs are made in a single day, in a single hour? Just like, it's a factory. And it's like TikTok songs that are like catchy for like one day and then it's gone. Once upon a time, the music was actually music. That's why we're like even more nostalgic, even more yearning for the music that we had back in the day, because it was something special. But now the industry churns out formula, algorithm-friendly songs designed for TikTok trends. Viral hits are engineered, they're not created. And a song is not about artistic expression anymore. It's about how many seconds of it can be used in a trending dance challenge. Of course, good art still exists. Of course, good films still exist. I'm not disregarding any of that, of course. And the fact that the world we live in is like this right now makes them even more valuable. And then we have cultural waste. I don't know, maybe there was a time you felt really bad about how much trash you were throwing away. But this is on another level. This makes you look like an angel. Hollywood isn't just burning money, it's torching the planet in the process. A single big budget film produces around 2,840 metric tons of carbon dioxide. That's like driving the Earth 300 times. And except going somewhere interesting, you just end up with Fast and Furious 12. Because we're in the era of fast food. Quick, cheap, instantly forgettable. TikTok trends, they have a lifespan of a fruit fly. Fake cities, elaborate costumes, entire fantasy worlds, straight to the landfill. But beyond the environmental disaster, these financial black holes are sucking the air out of the industry. Indie filmmakers, like myself, good luck getting funding when every major theater is booked for Superhero Cinematic Universe Part 42. And of course, this isn't just limited to film. The publishing industry, the art world, and even fashion are all caught in the same cycle of excess and waste. Wow! Even books now are turned out like disposable products designed for a quick read before being forgotten, if anyone reads books these days even. Art auctions treat paintings like stock investments rather than cultural milestones. Fast fashion pumps out millions of low-quality clothes that fall apart in weeks. It's all part of the same machine. Consume, disregard, repeat. Luxury capitalism inflates the meaningless, and mass entertainment recycles the same ideas, and cultural waste turns everything into disposable content. So what does this say about our society? Okay, I'm talking about the big elephant in the room that everybody knows it's there, but we don't want this as a conversation starter because everybody just wants to talk about something light and fun. We don't really want to confront it, and what can we do about it even? Like, just accept it. It's the reality of the world. But I'm just really interested in where this is heading. Because technically, we are the first era that the technology has advanced at this rapid speed. Where is this all heading? Straight into techno-feudalism. The same billionaires who profited from higher consumerism are now positioning themselves as our digital overloads. What is going to happen with all of this speed, all of this happening around us? What is going to happen to our society? Is there a happy ending to all of this? Are we gonna get faster and faster? We're already burning out of this. This is already weighing on us. In another video, I talked about how art reflects society. Now that the art is really meaningless, this is reflecting how burnt out we are and how we cannot consume art because we have too much stimulation. We are exposed to too much information in our daily life. Like in the 20th century, when the society was unstable, the art became unhinged. You got distorted figures, aggressive brushstrokes, and a general feeling of something is very, very wrong. Look at German Expressionism in the early 20th century. That whole movement was basically one long scream on a canvas. And now look at today's art. There's a reason AI generated art. Surreal, fragmented visuals are so popular. We live in a time of deep fakes, misinformation, and reality itself is feeling like it's breaking apart, and the art reflects that. Even memes, our most universal form of modern communication, they're becoming more absurd, more nihilistic. And when art becomes hollow, society is obsessed with consumption. When art is rebellious, society is on the verge of change. Like Dadaism, for example. It was an entire movement born out of frustration. Artists like Marcel Duchamp saw World War I, saw how completely idiotic the world had become and thought, all right, screw it. Art is nonsense now. They were rejecting the logic because the world itself had stopped making sense. And when art starts disappearing, society is in trouble. There's one final warning sign. The fall of ancient Rome is a perfect example. At its peak, Rome was full of murals, statues, grand architecture. Art was everywhere, funded by the state. But as the empire declined, that funding dried up. Art became repetitive, uninspired, and eventually non-existent. A few years later, Rome was gone. Today we're seeing a modern version of this. Governments are slashing arts funding left and right. Schools are cutting music and art programs. Museums are struggling without billionaire donations. Everything is shifting toward digital media, where art is consumed in seconds and then forgotten. The fewer resources a society gives to art, the more it signals that culture is no longer a priority. So, I don't know, maybe think about this. What's your idea? Where do you think it's gonna go? What are we gonna tell to our grandkids? And what kind of a world our grandkids would be living in? Because when we look at the state of the art today, there is a rise in chaotic, fragmented, glitchy aesthetics. And this means that people like the world is unstable and reality itself is unreliable. We're losing touch with each other and with the world. Art being used as a flex for the ultra-rich. Extreme wealth inequality and late-stage capitalism in full effect. More protest arts and politically charged work. People are increasingly frustrated with the system. So, are we in a cultural renaissance? Some people say that we're gonna get into a stage where we're gonna hit the rock bottom. Everything's gonna collapse, there's gonna be something horrible, and then we're gonna start the civilization again. Not as drastic as that, but you know what I mean. Because if we just keep going at this rate, we have to. We're going too fast. There's going to be a wall. And remember what Romans said. Give them bread and circuses and they won't revolt. Stay curious. See you. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me. Bye!